All right. Well, I had to completely redesign the shop to do all this tonight. So as you can see, the table is clear. There's a gigantic box sitting here. So if you were wondering if I already have a lot of the prep work done, that's not the case. I need to shut off the sound on my laptop. There we go. Gigantic box sitting here. So if you all right. So yeah, here it is, the beast. Usually I have the glasses on because you know, I have the laptop running on one screen, and usually I would have the 24-inch monitor over here. There's no room for any of that stuff with this configuration. So what I've done is I've taken a 60-inch TV that I've had for a couple of years that's been down here in the basement, just sitting here gathering dust, and that is acting as my second monitor right now. And one thing I need to do what I've done is I've taken a 60-inch TV that I've had for a couple of years that's been down here in the basement, just sitting here gathering dust. And what I'll do, just so you can see the ginormous mess here that is currently at the shop, this is, so the laptop is sitting over here on top of the rolling bench, the 60-inch TV, and of course all the lighting, and a couple extra lights here to help brighten the room up. So the laptop is sitting over here on top of the rolling bench. As you can see, we definitely had to make some accommodations for this big guy to work. And couple extra lights here to help brighten the room. Sorry about that bad echo. I did mute that sound. As you can see, as I'm noticing from speaking and watching on the YouTube display over here, that there is significant lag here. So sorry about that bad echo. Ignore that screen completely right now. And where's my mouse? Okay. So, all right. First things first. If you've never seen my videos, welcome to Where Nerdy is Cool. As you can see, there's a lot of 3D printers down here. You can probably see in the corner a BB-8 skeleton. R2-D2 is upstairs. Stormtrooper armor is behind the camera. The Dark Knight Batsuit is hanging up on the back as well too. We haven't had any issues lately. My name is Paul. So if you are not already a subscriber, hit the button, become one. Don't want you to miss any of my cool videos. So what we're going to do tonight, and like I said, if you haven't seen my videos in the past, what we're going to do this time around is we're going to take it step by step. Okay, we got a lot of good praise for the i3 Mega that we did. We basically did an hour, 2 hour every evening, talking about, you know, what the steps are going to be. Tonight, I don't want to get your hopes up. It's basically going to be unboxing this guy. We're going to take inventory. We have a sheet right here that's going to tell us what the pieces are. On a side note, what's interesting is the abbreviations they use are B, F, and P, Bravo, Foxtrot, Papa, for your military types. I don't know what that stands for. I'm thinking big friggin' piece, but who knows? Now, I don't want you guys to think that I'm any kind of corporate sellout, but you know, I do have my FolgerTech, you know, coffee cup going here, and I do have my hot chocolate. Now, I don't want you guys to think that I'm any corporate sellout. Okay, so first things first, people are going to ask, did we get it for free? Is it still echoing? Here, and I do have my hot chocolate. You shouldn't be getting an echo, unless my basement really sucks. Okay, so first things first, people are going to ask, did we get it for free? Is it still echoing? Here, and I do have my hot chocolate. Where would our echo be coming from? Unless my basement really sucks. Okay, so first things first, people. Okay. Is it better now? And I'll wait the 30 seconds and lag here to find out. Much better? Okay. Take two, okay? Sorry about that. I was looking here on the Lenovo ThinkPad here, and I saw the desktop audio input was cranking away, so for some reason it would seem the microphone was turned on the laptop. So apologies if you guys had your ears bleeding. So yeah. So first things first, people are going to ask, well, you must have got it for nothing. Nope, I paid for it. The only thing that I had done is I had reached out to John Folger and said, hey, you know, like the i3 Mega, we would love to do a live stream series on putting this big guy together. And if you could offer, you know, any small discount or whatever, that'd be really cool. And of course, I'm sure he was getting a lot of inquiries at the time. But about a week or two later, he got back to me and said, yeah, sure, we can do something. Initially, I wanted to get the full-blown version with the Pi and the 7-inch touchscreen, but decided, you know, I don't think I'll do that because most of my printers run Octoprint Raspberry Pi stuff already, so that's something that I could add later. So if it adds a little bit less complication, let's just go with the LCD and the dual extruder, and that's what this guy is right here. I know a couple of you guys that may be watching have already placed an order for yours and are anxiously trying to figure out when you're going to be getting yours. Mine was about 25 days from placing order to receiving. And some people may be complaining about how long it's taking, but I think my experience has been I would much rather have them take their time, get it all correct, versus hurrying it up the door and then I'm emailing saying I'm missing this showed up broken, what's going on here. This is very well packed. I'm one state away from John Folger at FolgerTech Technologies. I've seen a lot of pictures on the group where some of you guys have received yours and it looks like it was airdropped by a B2 and recovered. This one is very well intact, and without me blabbing on too much longer here, I'm going to get the razor blade out. We'll crack it open. I'm going to have to move it over here, and then we can start putting things up. It is labeled fragile. UPS did a decent job getting it here, and if you're wondering what the weight is, it does weigh 70 pounds. Carrying this thing down the stairs is like carrying a very large big screen TV. You can lift it up, but it's so big and wide and awkward, it's not a lot of fun. The other thing I want to mention is in the description for this video, there is a discount code that you can use. So if you are looking at this and going, I might pull the trigger on one, check the description. There's a discount code right there. I don't remember the abbreviation we use. We're nerdy is cool. And that's going to save you some money. I don't remember what the percentage is. I don't know if it's 10 or 15, but either way, you know, when you're dealing with several $100 printer, every little bit helps. So, with all of that said, let's, sorry, it's just a box cutter. It's not a very cool sword, you know, the power of Gray Skull or anything like that. Okay, you stay latched. So, look, it's a big box. I mean, how much candy can be in here? All right, so the good thing is everything is intact. Nothing popped out. Okay. All right. And then right up top here it says, ha ha, here's 70 pounds of cat food. Love, John. No, just kidding. No, so we have the entire list of stuff here. In the past we've received these with paper packing, and this has all kinds of bubble wrap. So, wow, let's get this over here. And let me look at our chat buffer just in case. Hello, guys. And let's see, 15 viewers, that's awesome. Keith is the moderator. I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat while moving along here too. So, looks like it's 5% off coupon. Well, there, 5%. And you figure the printer is $7.99 or so that's not bad. Okay, first thing out of the box is, how's that for a heated bed? This thing is ginormous. Wow. Think of all the BB-8 pieces I can do at one time on this thing. That is impressive. Okay. All right, let's move along. I will warn you, the cats have been napping all day. They are just full of energy, and they are already going through the bubble wrap, so you may hear some stuff in the background. Lots of packing. Take that, cat. Okay, let me get a better camera view here so you can see what I am seeing. And let's see. lots and lots and lots of aluminum. So what I'm going to do, I am going to lug this box. Let's get back to our other camera here. And again, apologies if I'm blasting your ears out. I hope that box is going to play nice. Alright, let's get you in here. Kind of pin you in here. Holy Moses. So there is a ton of Hcm material right there. So this kind of gives you an idea of the size of the bed and what have you. Wow, this thing is big. I mean, I don't mean to oversay it, but wow. You want more volume? I apologize. So let's go up here. Keith and the guys, let me know how the volume is doing. Let's work on freeing up some of this stuff. Alright, well, the cats have found and are enjoying. So we're going to start by, yeah, it looks like some of the, just like the i3 Mega, we're going to wind up doing a little bit of cleanup here on some of these things, but not bad. A little bit of work peeling away some of this stuff. It's not perfect, but not anything that's going to take a tremendous amount of time to fix. Alright, just getting some of these guys unpeeled here. I do like that it has the FT-6 logo here. Wow, I'm getting all kinds of the blowout here. Is the volume better, gentlemen? Much better, grazie? Okay. Let's see. Peeling these smaller pieces is a little bit tougher. And this might help me. Sweet. Okay. One. I wish I had the, well, I don't want to get in trouble with copyright infringements or strikes here, but one. All right, and there's more pieces here. So if you haven't done a FolgerTech kit in the past, there is a little bit of cleanup that will be involved. Nothing too terrible. I am full of tape already. Apologies, that is my furnace running in the background because I live in the Great White North. Okay, so I'm not going to bother inventory until I have these guys all out. Boy, there's a lot of pieces. This is going to be cool. All right. Okay, Caleb asked, is this the composite? This is Hcm. As a matter of fact, what I can do here, let me switch over to our other camera. And with any luck, it'll focus. And as you can see, it's got the aluminum, and that's the plastic sandwiched in the middle. You still can't hear the furnace? I'm the only one hearing it? So there's a couple things on this kit that I'm not so sure about. I'm kind of, like many of you, I just kind of jumped into it. This has a dual extruder. It has a single, like a Y adapter extruder. Don't know if I'm going to like that or not, but we'll give it a go. just like we did with the i3 Mega, we built it stock, tried it out, and then said, let's make it better. So, kind of making quick work of all these pieces. I think I could probably, I won't do it on camera obviously, but if you're wondering how much residue is left over from the CNC machine cutting this, I would definitely, you know, give them a brush over or hit them with a shop vac just to get all the debris out. And there's a couple spots here where it, you know, it looks real good as far as the cutouts and everything else, but just requires a little bit of cleaning. You've never been able to, that amazes me. Well, I've been very apprehensive about, oh, I don't want these guys to hear my clunky 45-year-old furnace in the background of my house. But you guys have never heard it. Cool. Okay. And then we get the side pieces here. Let's see. Everything is intact. Nothing looks broken so far. Okay, a few more spots of tape here. Alright, these are some thinner pieces, so I want to be careful. So, as you can see by the size of the box, that gives you a good idea of the size of the rails. I don't know where I'm going to put this printer. You know, part of me thinks it might fit perfectly on top of where my Ultimaker and the G-Tech is. And the G-Tech, oh boy, I should do a video on that. That printer has been the bane of our existence for a while, but it's actually doing some really good prints after we did some crazy surgery on it. Kind of like what Keith has been going through with his Prusa. Alright, just trying to cut the, there we go. The nice thing is this packing tape on top of the plastic that covers the ACM. So if you're wondering if you're going to wind up with any gunky residue on the part, you will not. And I think after doing all of this peeling, whenever you go to the grocery store to get the produce bag and try to peel it open, you will be a ninja now. Okay, there's those guys. And now this is interesting. I'm just wondering, it looks like our bed is bent. Yeah, that is a, there's no doubting that that guy's bent. So that's going to require an email. I don't know if you can notice it on camera like I can, but here's straight and bed's kind of winding up over here. So I can see why some of the guys like Corey offer a all aluminum bed, but yeah, this guy is definitely, I don't want to say it's screwed, but let me well, it's what's happening is when when mine was at the door, it was vertically mounted, and as you can see inside the box, okay, let me move the camera, sorry for the seasick, there's a lot of heavy stuff right here, and you know the bed is right on top, so I'm sure, you know, the box being vertical and having all of that heavy, you know, extrusions leaning on it doesn't help. I mean, they did the best they could. I mean, they got the bubble wrap, they got the paper packing and what have you, but just by laying this flat on the ground, here we go, okay, and so that's flat here, and that's bent. So that's unfortunate, but we'll contact FolgerTech and let them know. And that's why they say in the directions, hey, open it up, inspect everything. If anything is missing or didn't arrive safely, contact us. So that's okay. I really don't even have to bother undoing this because it's it's screwed. But why not? Because I don't think I can unbend this. Not really going to try. But that's what happens when you have large flat things and the folks at UPS get their hands on them. Let me check the buffer. Oh, do you think it'll straighten out? Okay, well, hey, let's stay optimistic then, okay. Let's see. I got packing tape that's wrapped on packing tape here. Once I get that out, then I can peel the material off. Was yours this this wobbly? Because I'll send John a picture and just say, here's what mine looks like. Should I proceed? Okay. My. Look at this, guys. I mean, bent or not, it's impressive. So you indicated that you think that's going to, okay, because I'm just looking at this and you can see how it's, that's interesting. I guess I don't have an opinion yet. Okay, this triangle thing is going to need to be cleaned up. See, this is one spot that's interesting. I'll get your input on this one. This little triangle. I got all kinds of plastic fuzzies here. And I don't know if there's a, here we go. See, there's a lot of this stuff here that's, looks like when they were cutting it didn't get all the debris out, so it's kind of stuck in there. And I'm just using one of these little Dremel pieces here. So you just gotta clean out this gunk. So a little bit of TLC here. Okay, there. Let's move this back. Alright, let's move you back over here and let's see how it looks. Does that look a little bit better than before? So that indicates front, okay. Let's get the other camera on. Well, it's cool to have someone here that is further along than I am. Come on, get off my finger. Okay. Yeah, this is, I don't know how visible you can, so you think this is going to straighten out? I mean, this is why we use bed leveling, but wow. Okay, and then before I get too carried away here, look at all this shiny debris. And before we move on to the next step here, let's just get some of this crap. If Yeah, use an air compressor. You know, ironically, I have an air compressor down here. It's a, what's the brand that Home Depot sells there? Husky? That sound right? And, but it's a 30-gallon one, so it'll literally take an hour for the thing to fill up. All right. I am the Batman. So there we go. So we have the Hcm part list, and I'm sure there's probably more small pieces here, so I'm not even going to get carried away on this. Oh man, I just love it when you open a brand new kit and you see all this stuff in here. All right, so we have the Hcm Corners. I don't remember his website, and I really wish I could share it. Maybe someone else has it. Maybe Matt knows it. But Corey makes milled aluminum pieces for these corner pieces, the bed, and stuff like that. He certainly doesn't give them away. They're very expensive, and I'm sure it's worth every penny, but I would love to have some of those pieces. All right, so these are the corners. What are you doing, Theodore? This just cracks me up. I mean, we just put together the i3 Mega and we thought that was huge. Now we got this thing. Okay, I think the air compressor is going to be our friend for sure after looking at all those pieces. Okay. Check the buffer here real quick. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to ask earlier. So is everything okay as far as sound and video quality now? Because we did a lot of messing around with stuff here before the camera was turned on, and I'm hoping everything looks and presents okay. That is so freaking huge. That is so cool. Sorry. So if my power bill doubles, there it is. Okay, let me roll back to the chair here. Okay, and tip this down a little bit. Is it still a little quiet? Okay, sound has gone up one more level. I apologize, you know, ideally, I just don't have the money to get one. I'd like to have one like those Yeti microphones, and right now we're just using the microphone that comes off the FolgerTech webcam here that we use for a third camera. So apologies for that. Yeah, Caleb used to pick on me for the video quality, and that's why we have this camera here that I spent $100 on to appease Mr. Powell. But he's been great. He's been a steady donator and Patreon. Oh yeah, and I meant to mention, if you like the video, you like what we're doing here, there's the super chat button you can press with YouTube if you want to throw me a couple bucks, you know, towards, I don't know, the ibuprofen fund, the beer fund, what have you, the Rogaine, I don't know. Look at all these pieces. This is way cool. Okay. So these guys should be pretty easy just to zip. But I'm not going to sit here and bore you guys with uncovering every one of them. I just want to be able to get them apart and count them. And some of these guys have trying. Okay, that's interesting. So some have the cutouts and some do not. And I'm sure there's a good reason for that, which we will discover later. Okay, which makes me wonder, did these not cut all the way through? No? Are two supposed to not have the cutout? all those long pieces at the bottom. Okay, so we got these guys. So we got 4 of these. Okay, so just look at this is BFP3, BFP4. Okay, very good. Miscellaneous. Oh my word! So this gives you an idea of how long this printer is going to be. Wow. Okay, let's put this aside here for a moment. But I still want to get the ACM pieces all out. Well, here they are, ACM small pieces. Okay, I wonder if I'm going to like this as a spool holder. I cast ye out. No, sorry. Had a lot of caffeine today. Okay, that looks like extruder mounts, and holy, look at all these small pieces. Oh, and let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Okay, so let's get those guys out. Look at all the stuff you have to peel. Well, this is kind of cool. All right, you guys look alike. Neat. We'll keep that bag just in case. Let's see. Oh boy, there's more really big plastic stuff. Okay, so we have rails. Okay, and there's our, oh, I remember these from the FT-6 days. Yeah, you don't want that guy to fall off the end of the rail. Got it. We'll put that vertical over here. Oh, more of the small beams. Yeah, we'll tackle these guys after we get the ACM squared away. Okay, these are the rods. Okay, so there's our Z. Okay. Okay, these are the vertical beams. So 4 by 700. So, this gives you an idea of how tall this sucker is going to be. Wow. Impressive. Okay, we got wire. Now this is interesting because on this printer he's using a lot of pinouts. You know, you get the piece right here using the RJ45 cable. So unlike the FT5, where we're running all kinds of silicone wire everywhere, and a lot of guys are getting broken wires. Not a lot of fun to rewire that printer. It's going to be interesting to see how this works. What's neat is we do something very similar with R2D2. If you have, I'm kind of going on a tangent here, but for those of you that are into R2 building, BB-8 building and stuff like that, with R2D2 we use a slip ring, okay, which is what they use in, well, they use them in a couple of things. They use them in windmills, they use them in wheels so that they can get the sensor readings from tires and things like that. And what we do is we use a DB25 connector, and what happens is the slip ring has so many contacts, and that's a way of passing power from one end to the other. And so, interesting. I'm looking forward to trying that out. More electronics. Yeah, let's get the, okay. So the bottom piece that I had there, is that not the print bed? And this is the print bed in multiple pieces? Do I have that correct? No, this is the bottom. No, okay, that is the bed. This is the very bottom where the stepper motors go. Okay. Okay, so that gives me an idea. Okay, so that concludes the ACM stuff. Oh my God, I can't resist looking at this thing. let me go to the other camera. I just caught my eye. I'm having total OCD. So there's our extruder kit. And it's huge and it's ginormous. And you can see stuff in the bottom here. I don't know anything about it. So I'm really curious how well it works. I've been following very closely the Facebook group, probably where a lot of you guys came from. And I've seen a lot of guys talking about the Titan E3D Aqua, liquid-cooled printhead. But yeah, we got electronics. Good, good. Okay, so now that we have largely all the ACM out, let's go ahead and switch my cameras back. All right. To anyone that's already put theirs together, I noticed there's a couple people that have made, like, they 3D printed some rounded pieces to go over to kind of smooth out the rolling of the filament. I'm curious how well that's worked. So that's interesting. Okay, so if you are following along at all, what I got here, let me look at the instructions here. We have the FT-6 instructions. For you, it's taking up a small part of the screen. For me, it's on a 60-inch monitor, so it's like, what glasses, Paul? That goes in the bin. Okay, so let's flip along here. All right, so this is just an FYI. This is the official print of the guide, blah, blah, blah. So what Chris is saying is, based on what I got, this is the latest version. Congratulations. And blah, blah, blah. Okay, so, and essentially he's telling us, take the film off. Make sure you got plenty of room to do it. Okay, so there we go. And then here we are. So this is what I have printed out in front of me. This is essentially the part list. And so that's what I have in front of me that I have printed out, in case you were wondering what's going on. So let me go back to our widescreen here. And so I know that these two guys, yep. Let's see. Let's just make sure. So you guys are not cut through. Now, what is the difference between one and the other? Oh, I see. It's with the two sun. Okay. So this one right here. All right. So on the, I'm just going to write down. Well, actually, I'm not going to write on the guy because I don't want to put permanent marker on it. But we do have 3. We do have 4. So what I can do is I can put a check mark up here that, yes, we got that. While I'm looking at it directly in front of me, we do have the T-piece. Okay, we have 8 of these other guys. I'm pretty sure we do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, and then let's see. These giant, I just can't get over how huge these guys are. So we do have 4 of those. And that's BFP02. The stack keeps on growing. Laserman asks a good question. Oh, yes, and thank you. Yeah, Matt, you caught it. Yeah, you flip it. Okay, so I'm gonna see. So inside the big giant thing here is our BFP 567. Perfect. So those guys are good. Back here under all this other stuff, I'm gonna lean this guy up. I'm still a little curious about this bend, but you say it's gonna straighten out, so I'm gonna believe you. I want to believe you, but let's put it that way. I want to believe you. And then I have then this is a matter of looking at these guys in the right angle. Hcm part. I must be missing a page in my documentation here. Let's see. Let's look. And I don't need my glasses for that one. Okay, so I can see I got 6. Because I'm looking at the extruder pieces and other stuff. I'm not seeing them on here. BFP 11 fixes it? Okay. Oh, these, okay. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I can see what you mean. Okay. So this is the under support for that gantry. Okay, that makes sense. Actually, let me mark that off my little checkbox too. Okay. So it looks like we're just inventorying the big pieces, not the little ones. That's okay. And I'm looking for 8. This is 8. Okay. This is 9. Oh, BFP 10 is our bed. Okay. All right, this guy. Which one would you be? You got a bunch of holes. Let's look in the back. So you would be 15. Okay, this guy, well, you got a little square in the middle, so that's a good reference point for you. That's 13. Okay, so I think we largely have everybody. Let's see, this thing right here is 14. Okay, you are 20. It's kind of funny to mix and match. Okay, so you're 18. There's 2 of these guys. Okay, that's 17. Okay, it looks like I got pretty much in the same. And BFP 12 is this dude right here. Okay, now I don't have a labeled assignment for this dude. I know these are the extruder pieces. And some of these other guys on the course of this. So it's not on the instructions, but as he mentions in the instructions, and what I'll show you just so you see as well too, he's saying exactly right here, LCD carriage and extruder ACM parts rather are listed in separate areas. So looks like we're good. We got everything. So I am going to put these littler guys in this box, or rather in this bag, just so they don't get lost. And gotta find my mouse across 3 monitors again. Hey, Wiley's 3D, how you doing? So yeah, so again, and I didn't make it up. Remember on the screen there, it said BFP. So I don't want to use the colorful metaphor, but I think I know what it means. But there it is. Okay. So before I get too carried away putting those too far away, look at all, I'm not going to clean off the desk because I got debris everywhere. Okay, so he goes through and he looks at the barcode and scan these guys, so this is good. So we do have large ACM. There's a power supply in here, yes. Let's see, there's a filament sample in here somewhere. It's always a laughable amount too, but that's okay. Dual extruder, we just saw that. There's a big power supply in there, but we'll take that. Okay, so we have the long beam, large. And what I'm doing, I'm just going through and checking these off. We got rails, small beams, rods, Hcm corners. Did we just want to make sure, because what happened with our i3 Mega build is we found out we were missing stuff, and he was gracious enough to replace them, but we should have, I should have picked up on that much sooner. All right, these are more big pieces. Okay, dual extruder that has been inventoried. Okay, electronics. Electronics FT-5, FT-6. What does he call it? MKS board. Okay, MKS electronic set. Okay, there we go. Oh, this is using MKS. Is this a 32-bit board, or is this a? Are we still with an 8-bit board on this guy? Ooh. Well, I like that I'm seeing a lot of really cool pulleys. Boy, those are big. Look at the size of that belt. What are the chances it's not one that we have to zip tie and put together? Okay, so this is called belt pulley. So, okay, so we do have the belt. Good. Let's see, we do have a power cord. Yep. Horizontal beams. Okay, there's that. Okay, so we have a filament. Okay, we have the LCD right here. AC cord. Okay, and this is the 12864. We're not dealing with the flat screen Pi stuff yet. Okay, what's left in here? Let's see. Oh. Wow, this is heavy. This is a lot of motors. Okay, so stepper motors, or motor set as they call it. My one grief is I wish that their label matched what's on the inventory list. Okay, then, boy, it's a little power supply. I'm assuming that's what it is. I don't see any label. Oh, wow. Well, considering the bed is AC, right? So it doesn't really need to be a monster power supply. All right. Well, the good news is we got one. There you are. 24-volt pipe. Wow. Wire, 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 wire. Miscellaneous. Okay, so we have an SRS in here, an SRS heatsink, and end caps. Okay. FT-6 miscellaneous. Good. I'm looking all through the box, and I'm not seeing nerds. I'm not seeing gummy bears. I'm not even cat treats. Okay, this is the hardware bag. And if you're wondering, that has some pretty good mass to it. Wow, 2.005 pounds of hardware. Now I know what you're thinking. Isn't it sketchy that this man has a mail scale in his basement just for this occasion? Honest, that's all I use it for. All right. Checking the box. Okay. Box is empty. Let's put this stuff back in before the cats go back in. So that's what's in the box. That's why you want to go through and make sure if you have anything missing or wonky, like that bed that looks a little bent to me. But let's be positive and assume that structural pieces will bring it back. Okay, these are the small pieces. Boy, those pulleys are just gigantic. To me, I don't mind the electronics of building a printer, but it's getting the belts and pulleys just right. That's the part that always... And I've seen a couple of people post where they've... and actually, they get some 3D models of some ways to improve the belting on this printer that I may very well do. So there we are. Let me look at the buffer, see if I've missed anything. You didn't get candy either? This, my friend, is an outrage. You got a beating heart with a hypercube? Cool. Count extrusions? That's a very good idea. Okay. Okay, well this one has 4. I'm good right there. Were you really off on extrusions? That's something. All right. This is supposed to be 5 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2. Rails, 1 and 2. Yep. Oh. Okay, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. That was a good tip. Thank you. The one thing I don't have is I need to buy one because I misplaced mine is a carpenter square. So that I can go through and, as we're putting this together, make sure everything is square. The one thing I'm not seeing in the kit, and I wish I had it for the FT5, and I might want it for this, is with a lot of these 80-20 extrusions, I see a lot of kits where they have like the corner piece. You know, you have like that little triangular piece that screws from the top and the side. It helps square the printer up or the device even better. Not sure if that's needed on this printer, but might be something to try. So thank you for the tip on counting. What I'm going to do now is if you guys have any questions about the stuff that's showing up over here, feel free to fire that off. I'm going to peel some of these guys out so I can have that done. And I have another tote here somewhere. Yep. Look at all these guys. And how far are we into this? We're almost an hour into this. So let me do my usual top of the hour when I do a live stream. Hello, welcome to Where Nerdy is Cool. And this is my channel where all things cool and nerdy. Big into 3D printing. You may see in the corner off the screen, you can see the Stormtrooper helmets. I have Stormtrooper armor. BB-8, R2 building. Huge into 3D printing, obviously. So, hello and welcome. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, please become one. If you haven't already given the video a thumbs up, please do so. If you're wondering where the devil I am located in Maine. So I am one state away from where FolgerTech is. They're in New Hampshire. And I wish you guys a good Sunday evening. To those of you who are Irish, I wish you happy St. Patrick's Day. As a Frenchman, we call today Sunday. Now, is that really Danielle? Because the last time we saw Danielle on here, it turned out to be Caleb. So we were excited, and then we were gently let down. All right. It is like snowing aluminum composite material all over me. Oh, it's interesting you say World War I. I just had my midterm. I am in the... I've had my private pilot license since 1992. I've been doing IT for, well, 20 some odd years. And I'm kind of reaching that point where I'm not so in love with it anymore. And I'm thinking about jumping into commercial aviation. Maybe a career change. So Yesterday was my midterm. I'm working on my aviation degree. Since I work for a college, I can get these courses at a great discount. So one of the courses I'm taking is aviation history, and a big part of the midterm exam was the impacts of World War I on aircraft development. So your timing is excellent. Okay, that guy's been done. Laserman, there is another one. The folks at Ziltech, notice I didn't say ZYL Tech. Oh, you guys totally jump all over me when I do that. They do make a hypercube. Wow, the cats are having a fantastic time up there. They do make one. It's a kit. So depending on, if you like building stuff and like doing kits, that might be for you. If you prefer to unbox something and set it up and go, in less than half an hour, there are other printers out there, but of course the cost goes up. I think the Hypercube is 4x4x5. Someone can correct me. Yeah, JDC, didn't you buy one? I know one of my viewers bought one recently and was chipping away at it. Okay, a little pro tip. When your kid arrives, do not cut your fingernails. You will need them to get this film off. And how do you like the Hypercube? Because they had reached out and offered a discount if We're Nerdy is Cool wanted to purchase one, to do a live stream build on one. And I said, I'd love to, but I already picked up a, looks like that didn't go all the way through. I already picked up a FolgerTech for my next build. Be aware that sometimes you're going to encounter a couple of holes that don't look like they're a hole, and it just looks like some where the plastic material in the middle is kind of accumulated. Let's see. Hello, Minnesota Maker. Good evening. For those of you not watching America's Funniest Home Videos, welcome to here. So what I'm doing is we're doing the prep. We're not going to do any building tonight. We're doing the prep. We've gone through. We've done the inventory, which is what they recommend to do in the documentation. With all the debris, I would certainly recommend a shop vac. There. So the specs on this one is pretty stinking huge too. I'm just curious, I'm going to be very interested that when it's all finished and done, where I want to place this. Do I want to put it next to my FT5? Will it fit beside there? Because the thing with the FT5 is that's a very tall printer. So initially I had it on top of something a little bit taller, and it's tough to get at. So it's going to be interesting to see as we get this guy built how it works out. I'm also really curious as far as what people are using as other options for dual extrusion. I don't have a real opinion on these Y adapter devices, for doing two different filaments. I'm a little spoiled. My experience has been with the Ultimaker 3, where there are two different nozzles that raise and lower for whatever they're going to do. So that will be educational for me. These pieces are so majestically huge. Caleb, you posed a really, really great question. When this thing is built, I don't know if I can move it by myself. Yeah, I might have to ask for my neighbor's help or have Fred come over. Theodore, what are you doing? The cats are having a field day down here. Okay, one of the small parts. Let's see, while we're doing untaping here. So to those of you that have never seen my channel before and that I've never met, I say hello. Nice to meet you. Some of these names look a little familiar from the FolgerTech forums over the years. Ah, that comes off nice. If you're wondering about any like spots where they cut through the material that are a little dirty, you know, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to, if not a drill bit, you know, you can take an X-Acto knife and clean these up a little bit, but I'm not seeing anything that I'm concerned about. Okay, so that's the bottom. Wow. So you know right off the bat the printer is going to be at least 70 pounds based on what was in the box. And then because it's so big, I'll probably want to put some sort of lighting inside of it. Okay, let's get you guys apart. Well, I haven't seen any pop-ups for new subscribers. No one's hit the tip jar. Aww. This is going to be a fun build. Someone had messaged me on Facebook asking me when I'm going to start building it, as far as, you know, tomorrow. After work, I have a meeting, an Aero Club meeting with the flying club I'm in, so I probably, actually this is going to work out great for folks on the other coast. Probably not going to start building this thing till about 8 o'clock at night. And we'll spend an hour or two on it and see how it goes. And I think what we're going to do is, just like last time, is probably spend an hour or two each evening on it. I know we could probably crank away a lot more than that, but what I like to do is I like to break up the videos so that if anyone else watches these as tutorials, they can skim through as needed. And rather than being a daunting 6-hour video, you know, we break them down into chunks. So yeah. So the Hcm is a very nice material. I'm impressed with what I'm seeing. Okay, this leaves us a small parts, and then we have the hardware. Wow. And I just wanted to share with you guys, so this is indeed their checklist, and we've gone through and made sure that we have everything we need. So if you do get one of these kits, it's well worth doing that. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. So we've completed that part of our instructions. All right, I was going to clean this off, but we got more. So this isn't so bad. Like I said, between, you know, me chatting and going through the box, we're what, about an hour into this. So if you purchase one of these and you have a good idea of how much time it's going to take to get it unboxed, inventoried, and delayered, so to speak. Plastic film. Hey, it's a great thing. I can tell you, I do a lot of CNC, and plastic film is awesome. Unfortunately, on the parts I make for R2-D2, I use the stiffest aluminum that you can get, the 5052, and that can be a little gummy to work with. All right, we're almost done. And then we'll get to the, oh, one more side. Let's see, someone just threw a question at John. Have I heard of the 3D distributed? I have not. Hey, let's see, Laserman had a question here. And just looking at the picture here that you beamed over. Ooh, that's a sharp looking F-86. I would love to have an airplane like that. Yeah, if you post a link, Keith will go through. If it's a bad link, Keith is going to hit you with a rubber mallet and ask why. Alright. Now, with a FT-5, 713 Maker made a lot of nice mounts, aluminum mounts. Because the FT-5, the first version, the R1, which I have, uses melamine. And unfortunately, in a humid environment like mine, the melamine got really warpy. So 713 Maker's offerings are outstanding for that printer. I don't know if he has anything or plans to have anything for the FT-6. He's always back ordered, so I don't know if he will or not. There, that takes care of unfilming all of these beautiful parts. Nice work. Alright, we'll put these guys back in here. Here's the thing, you know, we're so used to dealing with printers that are black or just, you know, aluminum colored. What do you guys think of the white? It almost has that kind of appliance look. I like it. It's very similar to what the Ultimakers use. They've always been white. And I think for them, they very much copy the Apple way of doing things. Very expensive, yet very good. But the white is nice. Okay, now I can actually get to the hardware. This will be somewhat amusing as we get to this step. All right. Look at all the shiny pieces of aluminum. So yeah, you definitely want to make sure, you know, if you're not cleaning up, you want to, especially if you have little pets that like to get into things. Okay. All right, and the Rombo will get the rest of that. Now, there's the kit. Now, one thing I will emphasize if you're going to get a FolgerTech kit is get yourself one of these. You can get them at Lowe's or Home Depot for about 15, 16 bucks. That's about what I paid for this one. If you buy the Craftsman's brand, you're going to about double that, but whatever you like. So this is going to be, and I'm going to use masking tape, and I'm going to use this wonderful little device here. And I showed this off my live stream the other night, but in case there's folks that haven't seen it before, let me share it with you. This guy right here is, oh, I'm sorry, it's in the way of my, let me move the logo here. It has holes in the top, and what we do is it has the millimeter measurements. So you can very quickly, as you're going through a giant bag of hardware, know exactly what size they are. All right, these extruders or extruded aluminum pieces are trying to clobber me. All right. So that's the next step in the process here. All right, and the extrusions are going to go here. And I'm just going to use painter's tape and that. And one more thing that I would like to have, if I don't have it already, is an empty one. Actually, I'm going to move the box before it topples. Boy, you take all the ACM out, it's a lot lighter beast. Perfect. Okay. Now you don't have to be as fancy as I am. I'm using a leftover paper plate. And we're going to pop open this hardware, which is probably going to go everywhere. Oh, I hear the extrusions. Before I trip over you again. Alright, hopefully this is a half decent angle. There we go. Make it a little taller. Okay, I apologize. Parts and pieces. Now what's cool is he's offering enclosures for the FT5 now, and he might be offering, I'm hoping anyway, for the FT-6. Okay, now you might be thinking, oh, they're all the same size, right? No, they are not all the same size. You can see there's some long bolts, some short bolts. So what we're going to do is, it looks like this is all the M5 hardware in one bag, which is good. And we get a fair amount of, this looks like M4. Yeah, these are M4. And this looks like my M3 bag, so. All right, I'm trying not to use the word all right because Kayla picks on me. And, well, that's the thing. If you complain about this, people think you're nuts because it's a kit. The benefit of a kit is you're getting it a lot cheaper because obviously if someone had to put it together, you're paying labor and way more money. So as we look through this, as I pan for gold over here, so it looks like I got a bunch of these, like it looks like little set screws in here and some other stuff. So no big deal. I'm just gonna find those guys and give them their own section. There they are. And of course, these are very deep pockets in this thing. So there we go. So this is the process, my friends. You're just going through, and if you do this now, it makes the build go way easier versus you digging your fingers through baggies trying to find stuff. Let's see. I don't know if these are set screws or what. They're just like little half somethings. Only because I picked on myself. I am, yeah, I'm guilty of that. Okay, so I got a bunch of these guys, and I'm not exactly sure what their role is in the kit, but a lot of them. And that's the one thing, you don't have an inventory exactly of, well, there is on the bag of how many you should have, but let's see. But it's a little bit tedious. It's one of those things where I have suggested that I would pay a little bit extra. I'd be willing to pay more if these were individually bagged and labeled. That is the way that Ultimaker does their kits. Okay, so let me, these guys are 20s. So what I'm going to do is make a little label, call it M420. Stick it right there. And there we go, and just to make sure, yep. And this you can find on Thingiverse. It's a great print. By all means, make sure your extrusion is working properly. But this is just a nice way of going through here because after a while, these screws all look alike. And you'd be amazed how a 16 and a 20 can look very much alike. So I am just plowing through this. Okay, now this one right here is a 10. Nope, you're a 12. See, I would have got that one wrong. Okay, so, and I have so much blue painter's tape from my Ultimaker original days. All right, so M412. If you have a label gun, you can obviously make this a whole lot nicer than I'm going to make it. Let's see. Oh, did you find it already? Oh, very good. Very good. Keith is the master of Thingiverse. They've changed their site. I mean, for a good 3 months, their site was pretty freaking slow, but over the last week or two, it's gotten a whole lot better. So, yay Thingiverse. Okay, that's a 20, yeah. So, if I grab a handful of these, I measure one of them, I can kind of get the gist of, yep. And if you are really, oh, that's little. If you're really smart, you're keeping count. Okay, this is not the right size. And I'm just going to put all of these M4 nylon inserts with the M4 stuff. And I'm sorry this is very thrilling watching me sort this out, but this is the gist. This is how you do it. This is how you do one of these kits. Generally, you sit back, you grab a DVD or a Blu-ray of your favorite movie, have it running in the background, and sort away. Last time I did it with Tron Legacy playing, and I live streamed it, and then I got tagged by Disney for having Tron Legacy playing in the background. So. Okay, so it looks like these guys are 16s. Yeah, these are 16. So I need to make another sticker here for these guys. Okay, those are different sized. Okay, so and M4 16. These guys I think are 12s. Yes, you are. Good. All right, there we go. We're partway through the first bag of stuff. Okay, I said 12. And, oh, I already had one for 12s. Ha ha ha, even better. Okay, and yeah, can you hear them in the background? Yeah, they are indeed having a field day. Let me Molly. What are you doing? I don't think you're supposed to be in there. And where's Theodore? Come on. Out. Out. So, as you can see, there is no doubt that they largely own this place. Okay, next bag of stuff. Yeah, in the box already, yeah. Very good. Yeah, very good. Yeah, tell you what, you are the smartest person for the next half hour. You got it. Out of 3 cats, you nailed it. Molly is the long-haired one, otherwise known as the beautiful one everyone wants to take home with him, with them rather. Okay, well, there's a tremendous amount of M5 here, which doesn't surprise me. Wow. Now here's the crazy thing, okay? So you could buy a whole bunch of these online for like nothing, but you go to your local hardware store where you buy the individual screws for like 50 cents each, and holy cow, it's a lot of money. Okay, so there's a big pocket here for M5, so that's what I'll do. Look at all of these T-nuts. One thing I'm kind of wondering about is, you know, we didn't do it with the i3, we didn't do it with the FT5, as I'm wondering about, you know, how much of this should have Loctite stuck on it. Let's see, so you're M4, let's put you here. Look at all this stuff. Oh, okay, so we have some other miscellaneous stuff here. Let's not fix that up. Boy, if you have little fingers, you can make quick work of this. And I don't. All right. Well, I don't know what size that is. I don't think this has no, and this. So it looks like I have a tremendous amount of 10s. And yeah, I pick on those cats a lot, but they got it good. The lady from the Humane Society that reached out to me and placed her with me touches back every now and then. She enjoys seeing her the pictures of the cat on the Instagram and on Facebook. So, goodness. Oh, wait a minute. Have I got two different sizes? No. But I do, it looks to me like some of these are maybe perhaps, no, just optical illusion. I thought some of these were a little bit bigger than others, but they're all the same. Like that would have been a cruel joke. If it fits, it ships. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, she's going to be 3 real soon. Got her to keep the then 12-year-old cat company. And they get along, but older cat, young cat, don't play as much as I thought they would. But then they let me know that, hey, we have this other cat that just showed up. Think he'd be a great partner for Molly. And that's how I wound up with another one. Theodore turned 1 a little while ago. And those two are still in there. Hey, Theo, what are you doing? Okay, so right now, I am trying to make a dent in this giant stack of T-nuts. Once I get all the T-nuts out of here, then I can start getting the M5. Let's see, there's a bunch of nylon inserts here. There it is. This is going to be a fun build. Yeah, there's a few ways you can do it. You know, it's kind of like rolling coins. I mean, there are some people that, you know, you put them inside the funnels that are pre-cut and just slide them in there. There are some where they actually, you know, shake and rattle them and sort them for you. It just depends. This is not my favorite thing to do, but, you know, let's be honest. How many printers can print this print volume for under $1,000? So you got to see the positives. Now, I think he had mentioned that they had bought or they were investing in some equipment for sorting these things out. So, well, let me clarify. Last time, we would have got a giant bag like this, okay, and it would have had everything in there, okay. At least this time, it's broken down by M5, by M3, by M4. So, it's an improvement. One got away from me. Okay, and I think I almost have. Good grief. Years ago, I went to Oregon, where I was talked into going panning for gold, and that's what this reminds me of. Minus the wetsuit and the subarctic freezing weather and water up to my waist. And as you can tell from being here still, I did not find my fortune. Rather have a neighbor's kid do it. Yeah. Oh, come back here. What are you doing, buddy? Hey, what are you doing? Don't go in there. He's gonna go in there. All right, we're almost. Oops. Now the good news is that I keep forgetting which camera to look at here. The good news is that you're not going to run out of these. I know in all my other kits that I've gotten, or I'm sorry, received, proper English, sorry, you do wind up having a fair amount of extra pieces so that if something goes wrong or you drop these or whatever, you're not SOL, as they would say. Okay, now, again, we're in a situation where a lot of these look alike. So these are all 10s. So M510, let's write that down. All right, and let's put that here. I'm not putting these in any kind of order. It's kind of messed up. Okay, so these guys. How many of the M510s are there? Because I'm guessing there's probably about 150. 141. Okay, so let's cut back to this view over here. Dun, dun, dun. So, well, you guys are good. I gotta say, you know, I've got a bunch of viewers that are interested. Unfortunately, no pizza has shown up yet, so you know the live stream hasn't quite gotten that big yet. I remember watching Angus do a live stream, and Joel, 3D printing nerd, had sent him pizza live. I just thought that was hilarious. I was like, someday I got to do that to somebody. Although I'd like to be clever and send them Chinese, but with my luck, they'd be allergic to peanut oil or something. But so there we go. And let me go back to this closer camera. Let's do this. I'm trying to give you guys somewhat of a view of all the fun I'm having here. So these guys are 10s. And yeah, I probably ought to be counting these, but it's pretty hard to miss. They all look alike. Okay. I'm going to have to seal that box up tonight, otherwise I'm going to wind up with the minions in them. Well, I'm impressed that all the M5, at least we're using good hardware. Okay, those guys are too tall to be a 10. And then prepare for the pizza tsunami. You guys are funny. That's great. Let's see. Oh, I know what I meant to ask you guys, kind of as a side chat here. So Keith talked me into getting into Twitter, and I got a couple followers for the channel on there. Not many. I think 25, 26. And I don't follow it super closely, and I guess following it on your phone is probably the worst way to follow some of these threads, but oh my God, the drama. I guess I was living in the Stone Age following all these guys on Facebook and on Instagram and their websites or whatever. I did not realize how much drama was on that damn platform. Holy crap. It's getting to the point where I scroll through there and I'm going, oh, never mind. Someone started a fight, but I can't see the first post, and I don't know who's talking to who, and egad. So, maybe I'm too dumb for Twitter. Maybe I should just call it Twitter. Let's see. Those are more 10s. Look at all these 10s. I'm beginning to think that if I just started with all the 10s, that would have been easier, but I think either way you cut it, you're still sorting all these guys out for quite a while. But, you know, there were some folks that I follow their videos on YouTube and such and subscribe, but There's a handful that are, oh my God, it's just total drama. You know, the Naomi there and a couple others. It's just like, I feel like I know too much now, and that's what turned me off. Well, I was always told by a friend of mine that if you want to get fired quickly, just be active on Twitter. One wrong post and next thing you know, the whole world's gonna turn on you and you're out of there. All right. Okay, so who was in charge of counting these? And then all right, bunch of M5 nuts. I hear you're yelping, Theodore. What's up? Well, that's exceptionally, that's a 40. This must be a 25. So 6, M5, 25. These are 10s as well. All right, I think what I'll do is I'll stick these guys in the miscellaneous. I'm not gonna go crazy labeling every, especially when there's only 2 or 3 of them, but so there we go, more M5. Just makes it easier. Hopefully, when we play back the video here, hopefully this makes it easier in the long run. Okay, don't know what that is. Okay, these are the insert pieces that are going to go inside the extrusions. Oh, don't tell me we're using these dinky little springs again for the bed. Looks like we are. I hate these springs. I mean, I'll give them credit. They're definitely, these are a little bit, let me see if I can, looks a little bit better than what we had before. The ones that were on the i3 Mega were literally, remember when you were a kid and you took apart the big pens to shoot them across the classroom? That's what those were. These look a little better. Okay, put the springs in there. Let's put the bed stuff together. So, bed leveling knobs. Again, I'm not crazy about these little knobs, but alright, and then so these must be for the larger extrusions. I've never used these. I use these on the FT-5 for those, but okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll stick these guys in there too. Okay. I counted 7. Ollie. Okay, and okay, this is going to be a bit less fun. Okay, these are the spacers for the electronics. Checking to make sure everything comes out. Now, Keith, take a look at these. I would like to find where these are on Amazon, because remember how with the Titan Aero, it seems like the minute we add anything, like the washer, we always wind up like being like a quarter turn too far out. So I do like these. Okay, so this is, I'll put this with the miscellaneous M3 stuff right here. What I try to do with the M3s is I try to put, if there's some really weird size stuff, I'll put that in, plus the nylon parts by themselves. There's a lot of square nuts, so, okay. So let's get some of the weird stuff out of the way before we sort a zillion screws. Where is the rest of the nylon? There you are. Okay. And then let's go back to these square nuts, because there's not a whole bunch of these guys. And we're kind of throwing them in that anything goes junk drawer. There's a few more. I still have like 30 of these left over from the i3 and the FT5, come to think of it. There's one. Okay. How long are these? These are probably taller than my long. Let's see. The longest one I can measure is 45. So I'm gonna guess that this thing's probably 70. Probably too big for a tight and arrow, but still a neat piece of hardware to have. Okay. Yeah, my MasterCard is awesome. I don't think I would have gotten R2 together without my MasterCard. And they have the STLs for a lot of their drawings, so technically you could 3D print some of those things. I think I have all the square pieces out. Now the T-nuts. Tommy Rumbly. And let's label some stuff in 3. All right, what's up in the chat here? Sorry, I've been trying to whiz through some of this stuff here. Oh, I'm caught up. Good. And I can probably move that, now that I'm not standing as much, I can probably adjust that camera. Let's go back. All right. I should have used the remote control app to better do that, but hey Z1, how you doing? So did you enjoy your build? We had a really good time on the Mega. I've been reading the directions that Chris Soros made, and there's a few parts as I was reading them, my thought was, well, maybe it'll make more sense when I'm in front of the printer. So I'm seeing a lot of real pulleys. I prefer that versus some of the multiple part idlers that we saw in the FT5 build a while back. Yeah, yeah, because I know they're making their own little PCBs now, so that should be that should really help us out. I got a bunch of nylon inserts in here too that gotta come out. Ah, boy, sorting these out is not a lot of fun, but stay positive, stay positive, stay positive. But yes, I would have paid 20 bucks more to have them sorted. Okay, so I got the nylon inserts, I got the M3 T-nuts, and then I got the squares. Okay, make sure I get everything kind of apart here. You can do it! Yeah, I was up too late last night flying. They released another update to the A4, So now that it will let you launch off the aircraft carrier and land, and we were messing around with that extensively. They did release the F-14 Tomcat, and everyone is going gaga for that. I may pick that up next month. When you get paid once a month and you just paid all your bills, you gotta make what you have last. Okay, here you are. Yeah, this whole crazy thing called a budget. Okay, Mike. All right, so you're not. Okay, if I hang on to the machine screw that I'm looking for. Okay, this one has. This is interesting. Okay, so some of these are pan head and some of these are countersunk. So that's going to be important to pay attention to. Got it. Well, let's start by getting rid of all these super tiny little, these are 8s. Yeah, these are 8, aren't they? Yep. Verified. Extra thermocouples in between. So explain that if you could. Because you say you glue, or when you glue the heater to the aluminum bed, you're talking about that. It's not pre-adhered? These guys are having a field day in there. Molly, don't sit on his head. As you can hear, they are having a wonderful time. Okay, I wonder how many M3 by 8s are supposed to be in here. 40. And then 33 M3 by 10. So, these guys are going to look right alike. Wow. Yeah, this would have been worth having a kid do. Yeah, I haven't even opened mine up, so because that only has that one thermocouple right smack in the middle, right? My word, this is quite something. Let's stay positive. This is a lot of work. I knew there was going to be a lot of hardware. That's why I bought the case, but OMG. Okay, that's a 10. Yeah, because when you have this many M3 8mm and 10mm, it's like, it's easy to screw these up. And slowly weeding through this pile of stuff here. Pretty sure that's a 10. Yeah. Man alive. Yours wasn't pre-adhered. Yeah, mine's, I'll have to check it out. The one thing I haven't looked in the bags, but do they have in the instructions, is that going together just like the i3 Mega? Is that just using Kapton tape on the back of the sensor for the bed? I am curious. Well, that wasn't very hot chocolate, but yum yum. Okay, that's a 10. Man, some of these you just don't know. See, we have to get these printer projects out of the way here because when Game of Thrones starts up, see you guys later. Well, the heater has a sensor built. Okay, that makes sense. You're right. Okay. Sorry about that. That was kind of a dumb question. So one question I can ask here, kind of a side topic, is I love this program, but I'm curious if anyone else is watching it, and it's on the History channel, Project Blue Book. Is anyone else watching that one? Molly, I'm sorry you look sad, but if you stop trying to sit on his head, he might play with you. This is a ton of work. Oh, very good. You already linked it. Yeah, as a matter of fact, one of the investigators, Dr. Hynek, is played by the gentleman who plays Littlefinger in Game of Thrones. It was interesting because when I saw the show, I thought, I know that guy from somewhere, but I cannot place where. And yeah, that's what it was. And I've lost track how many weeks we have until Gaunt comes back. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you that the difference between an 8mm and a 10mm screw is fascinatingly close. And it's easy just to say, close enough, but I'm sure it will bite me in the rear end later, so that's why I am taking the time to do this correctly. You might want to watch this one, Caleb. You're an Air Force guy. You know, if you see something in the sky, you know, they'll probably say, nah. He's a crazy man. It's too many 3D printing vapors. He didn't see anything. And what is this? This is a 10. There's a lot of these. That's got to be an 8. I'm just going to guess on that one. Okay, because we're almost to the end of this. And then tomorrow we can start. Actually, I could probably peel the extrusion stuff off too. So if I really wanted to be on top of my game. Yeah, you guys are definitely... my fingertips have stopped working. You're an 8. Okay, now the rest of these little buggers. Okay, you are 10. I think we're in the home stretch here where it looks like a lot of these are 30. As you can see, the count is slowly going down. There we go. So I don't know if anyone's kept track of how long we've been sorting these bloody screws out, but again, you gotta look at the big picture, the money you're saving. You have to mutter it. Okay, I think that's all the 10s. Okay, I see a handful of these guys that are huge. So let's sort these guys. Okay, here's a couple countersunk. All right. Okay, let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kind of a weird number to have. I got 7 of these. Is that correct? You have 8 of these. Well, let's look. Am I unable to count at this point of the night? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's got to be another one in here somewhere. Was that just going to be the way it goes? I'm always going to be off by 1. Alright, well, since you guys are unique, I'm going to put you in here by yourself. And nice to know that I'm already missing 1. Yeah, you're calling for 8. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, so I'll have to... Oh, wait, there you are. Okay, good. Alright, and then these guys. How tall are you? Don't tip. 30. And I got 3 of you. And I'm supposed to have 2. Okay, well, whatever, 1 extra. So, with the oddballs, I'm going to put them in the same container as the other M3 weirdness. I'm supposed to have 48s, 33, oh my word, 63 16s. Oh, my neck just popped. That tickled. Check the cats. Oh, there's all kinds of ways you can sort all this hardware out. I'm sure there's more than one way to do this. All right, so this is, are these 16s? They are 16s. Okay. And the good news is, yeah, so I'm pretty sure all of these are 16. And that pretty much finishes us up. Alright. So let's grab a handful of these guys and just make sure. Oh, we get one that's a straggler. Yeah, I think we're on the home run. On the home stretch, rather. Sorry. Geez. Coherent sentences are tough. Okay. So it's not the most glorious part of the build, but yeah, you got to sort all this stuff out. If you're one of those guys that just put it together without sorting this hardware out, man, I don't know how you do it. Hats off to you. And dun, dun, dun. Did I miss any pop-ups? No. And the 2 guys left over were 10s. So there it is. Hip hip hooray. What are you doing? I see you. What are you doing? Yeah, you better run. You know you're in trouble. Alright, now let's go over to our other camera. And let's close this up so they don't pop out, because as you can see, we've got Tweedledee and Tweedledum are on the patrol. Let's throw that 8 in there. So so that largely concludes the first part of sorting the hardware. Oops. And throwing random things across the room. So cool. Let's. Okay, so those are the small pieces. Those can go back in the box. And look at all the film. So this goes here. All right, so so now we're at the fun part where, okay, do I put everything back in the box or do I kind of leave it sitting out the way it is? The only other thing I can think of that I could do, because I have all this film I gotta throw away, is I could crack these guys open, because they are going to be completely covered in stuff that needs to be peeled away. And they're going to have aluminum shavings on them from when they were trimmed in the machines. Oh yeah, I can see. And what makes it fun is they are, well, this is a little bit of a bummer in a way, because what happens is that because this is packing tape, here we go. The packing tape that comes into contact with the bare aluminum is going to leave behind that, you know, that junk, the adhesive. Wow. So we take the edge and peel, and you get an idea of just how huge this printer is going to be. There's also a fair amount of aluminum dust still in there too, so the next steps for this is going to be obviously to wipe it down. I wouldn't use a paper towel because these are sharp edges, so it's going to rip the towel, but microfiber cloth or something like that would probably be really, really good. Let's see. Do it again. Matt said, leave it out. Yeah, I don't think the cats will bug it too much. I'm sorry. Did I really say that? Come on. This is my first night living here. Yeah, the bed that's a little bit tweaked, that has a substructure that goes under it, so that will firm it up. If not, the bed leveling is certainly going to be interesting. But there are other people that have built these, so I think one of the guys had said that it's not a problem. So I'm really curious about the offering that Corey offers. I know that sound. That's the sound of Molly on top of the printer enclosure. There we go. And that's a sticker. Okay. Look at all of these. Wasn't exactly my intention, but okay, it's off. Boy, when you see these rails and see how long this printer is going to be, it's like, whoa. Although, I got to say, after all these months of playing with i3 Megas, the G-Tech, you know, the TiVo Tornado and CR10s, I do like that I'm playing with a cantilever style printer where the print head moves. You know, not the whole build plate moving side to side kind of thing. So that's a nice change of pace. I like my Ultimaker. Oh, let's see. Oh, look, I'm on hour number 2 of this. Okay, well, as I mentioned, we're going to try to keep these at or just about 2 hours long. So I'm going to get these aluminum things done, and then we'll probably call it a wrap not long after that. But if you're just tuning in, started late, my name is Paul. Welcome to my channel where nerdy is cool. This is the FolgerTech FT-6 kit. And Keith can post a link to the FolgerTech website that has all the dimensions. If you're interested in getting one of these, make sure you check the description of this video. There's a couple of things there. What you can do, there's a discount code available, so it'll save you some money if you decide to get one. And what we're doing is, I'm hoping this will help future builders along the way. We're going step by step as to the unboxing process, getting everything prepped. Right now we're removing all the plastic that peels off the aluminum here. And sometimes you gotta dig a little for it. There you go. We removed all the film off the aluminum composite pieces. Those came out really, really nice. And most importantly, we inventoried. We wanted to make sure that we have all the pieces we're supposed to have. We went through the master inventory list to make sure that we had all the electronics, the belt, you know, all the packages that are inside that box. You want to make sure because you have a limited window when you can contact both. Which freaking cat was it this time? Excuse me as I majestically clobber someone. Okay, how fitting. They ran for their life before I could get there. So yeah, thank you, Keith, for posting that. Look at all this stuff. Yeah, it's a pretty hearty pile going on here. If you're new to my channel, be sure to check out my videos. Got all kinds of fun stuff on here. And as you'll probably learn as you see some of my videos, my cats are very much a fun part of my life. They like to make appearances during my videos. I always catch them when I'm in the editing process and just figure, whatever, leave them in there. Wow, there's a lot of little pieces to clean up off that. Okay, so that takes care of the 1 meter long. Did you get that? 1 meter long. That's how long these individual rails are. Holy crap. So those guys are cleaned up. Hey, Jay the Sniper. Greetings. We're on the tail end of a live stream here. Okay, so these are the vertical beams. These are the 4 700 millimeter beams. And yeah, this is how tall this printer is going to be. Isn't that crazy? All right, and then use the razor to let's see. Look at all this stuff. Well, we got all kinds of bubble wrap going on here. Packing tape. There. How's the camera doing? Camera's doing okay. Good. I am not going to unpack the rods and bearings because the there we go. It's not a Delrin slider, but it's got little ball bearings on it, and I don't want that thing to come off. That would suck. Let's see what the first one to come up. Okay, so just because I got the plastic peeled off, this is by no means done. You can wipe them down. Might not be a bad idea to, if you got a wet dry vac in the basement or something like that, to go ahead and run that through just to make sure you get all the debris out of the channels, which is probably what I'm going to do. I got a little bit of, again, the packing tape. I can show you right here. You got a little bit of of a spot here where the packing tape, you know, leaves all that goop on there. I've mentioned it to him in the past, not as criticism, but as a suggestion, just saying, you know, if you use painter's tape, it won't leave any residue. But that hasn't happened. Just my suggestion, because when you put a printer together, you don't want to have, there we go, that, you know, especially in my basement, you know, with pet hair and stuff like that, it's going to go right to that adhesive. But that's just me. I got a bottle of goo off there that I can blast them with. Peel. Okay, part of me is thinking I should have kept the label on there, but the other part of me is like, there's not that many extrusions, so it's not too hard to tell the difference between the 700, the 1 meter, and the 300. So, if you were thinking that to yourself, like, what about all of those labels on there? There we go. Well, I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks things are going to start to warm up around here. I know some of you guys are in a northern climate like I am, and we are just about sick of winter. Those of you that love to ski and enjoy the snow, well, that's great. We got over it in December. Okay, again, question my sanity as to why do I live in a northern climate? But the nice thing is, at least down here, even in the basement, the temperature stays pretty decent. Boy, there's a lot of adhesive all over this one. I don't know why. It didn't have that much packing tape on it. Let's see, I could use Goo Gone. I could also use, probably use WD-40 with better success. But, we'll just... smells like orange. And yeah, you could let it sit there and let it do its work, but this also works too. There. Question for the X1 eyeless with a hypercube. Well, you're going to be the guy we go to for all our questions when we buy one. Oh, there's a lot of tape on this. And again, I know I'm being fussy. Just don't want gooey, sticky adhesive parts. Okay, that looks better to me. FT5, they're about the same for complexity. The electronics is the big improvement. Using the patch cord method, they're using, you know, Cat 5, RG45, maybe it's Cat 6. I didn't look. I didn't count the connectors. But they're using that plus their own PCB to split up the connections. So it's not like the FT5 where you have so much silicone wire going everywhere, it seems. But right now I'm just trying to get all the sticky parts of So one thing I don't like about packing tape is that it just leaves adhesive everywhere. For whatever reason, this particular piece was super sticky. And then I can just see the aluminum flakes all over the place. I would rather use microfiber than this, but it will work in a pinch. And just make sure you clean up your workspace after, you know, especially if you got pets or little ones. They'll step on it and track it around and all that good fun. So this is kind of a extra step. But that was one of the worst ones. How's this one looking? I'm just running my fingers over to see if I get stuck. Yeah, there's another one. I do, I mentioned earlier, I do like the white. You know, all the printers we see are black or, you know, just the aluminum color. But I do like the style and look of this one. I don't know anything about the print head. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of E3D and their stuff. So just about everything I have, I've converted to E3D. Just because I don't like relying on the no-name Chinese stuff that may or may not work or fail at an inopportune time. So I'm curious what other FT6 builders have done on theirs. The BO1 has listed as 26 by 5 pulleys. So none of those crazy idlers, right? Oh no, I'm sorry, you're talking about your kit, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'd be curious how you like the Ziltech printer kit. There. And I like how these, you know, it's funny, someone had mentioned, he goes, I like your channel, I like your live stream because anyone can ask a question and, you know, you'll table it. And it's like, well, that to me is fun. I know I watch a couple of live streams myself, and sometimes you know, the moderator doesn't see the question or, you know, doesn't acknowledge it. So I like that over here we're just a bunch of printing nerds helping each other out. And I am just figure while I have this out and there's people having conversations, I can at least go through here and rather than do this tomorrow. Because tomorrow I want to be able to go ahead and start putting the frame together. Because I'm sure when we do that, we're going to be like, holy crap, holy crap, holy crap. Oh, really? What, well, they don't, and because you have to 3D print a fair amount of parts, don't you? I had someone that was looking at their kit, but they said specifically, well, I don't like the idea of 3D printing parts. And I mean, gosh, I mean, we've printed all kinds of stuff for the i3 Mega and even the G-Tech and some other stuff. So, what have you been missing? Are we talking like, you know, screws and nuts kind of thing, or are we talking about like essential stuff? See, I got packing tape all over the place in here. Son of a... See, this is the... let me go to the other camera here. Before you guys think I'm crazy. See, these are the... oops, I had it there on focus. See all that goopy stuff there? That's what I'm using the Gooby on. And if I start to sound a little kooky and crazy, it's because I love that orange citrus smell. But yeah, as soon as I get home tomorrow, have some supper after the aviation meeting, I'm looking forward to jumping into this. Alright, let's get off that. Yeah, little tape stuck in the groove there too. Again, I know I'm nitpicking, but this next fairly expensive printer for most of our budgets, and I want it to look super nice and get all that crap off of it. All right, let's go ahead and clean the channel. What are you doing, Molly? There. Sweet. I am full of aluminum dust. All right, those are done. Okay, the rest are, these are the rails. Oh my goodness gracious. And the bed. Now, one of the guys from the group, Brant, is making a, just like he made for my G-Tech, he's making the spring steel bed that you can just clamp onto this. It's got a sheet of PEI you adhere to it, and then you would just clamp on top of this, and this way when your print is done, rather than trying to dig and scrape on whatever surface you place on this, you give that a little twist and you are good to go. So my friends, this is the print volume that we will soon have for this printer. That's just remarkable. I'm curious if there should be any insulation under the bottom of the bed. I don't know if this is pre-adhered or it's just laying in there. I think it's just laying in here, to be honest with you. Or maybe not. No, this doesn't seem to be adhered. I'm just flexing the plate around here and it's moving around. So I wonder if any insulation is going to be required for that. Now, just so you can, this is, from what I'm reading in the back here, it's water jetted. So it's going to be interesting. Okay. Let's go ahead and place this guy down here, and there, gotta get metal everywhere. Heats to 60°C in about 3 minutes. Wow. Yeah, I'm curious about the whole wiring, the electronics, and everything else on this. It's going to be an interesting build. There's a lot of pieces, and you know, at first you're always a little, you know, I don't know if this is my thing or not. But God, we've had such a good time doing the last couple. So made a lot of friends along the way. So let's see. Yeah, because these guys go opposite sides of each other. Okay. The one thing I didn't see, maybe I missed it, was the LCD window, but that must be one of those over there somewhere. Maybe. Don't know. I haven't scanned that far ahead in the directions. Yeah, AC beds are quite something. Let's max you out here. Yeah, good point there on the wiring. Okay, that's the wonderful world of T-nuts. Okay, this is going to be the rod mounts. Motor mount. I'm just trying to see how... See, this is the one thing I'm not crazy about that they do here, okay? And this... I know I'm being a little finicky here, but I'm not crazy with this idea of, you know, we're going to put a nut, an M5 nylock. Yeah, the way this idler setup goes, I'm not particularly crazy about. Upgrade my electrical. No, I unplugged the other PC that was down here that was drawing about 1,000 watts rather, because it's a beefy workstation. Yeah, I can't have that up and running here while plugging another printer in. Yeah, unless I get that home nuclear reactor here. Yeah, so this is the way that this whole thing works here. I'm a little but we will wait and see. But well, all right, that is enough on that part here. Okay, so indicated at the start of the video, we're going to try to keep them between, under 3 hours anyway. So this is the first step in unboxing and peeling the film off and getting everything ready to go and sorting the hardware. So in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to kick open those directions and we're going to start doing the basic parts of the assembly. We'll see how far we can get here in an hour or two, and we'll stop and then proceed on a little bit further the next evening. So if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please hit the button below and become a subscriber. If you want to help the channel, there's a couple ways. There's a link down in the description where you can do the support the stream. You can do the PayPal link. And stuff like that. Whatever you choose to do, if you do so, I thank you. 3D printing and all this fun stuff is great to have a small budget, and I appreciate you guys that have kicked me a couple bucks here and there doing so. And with that, I'm going to wish you guys, again, it's a St. Patrick's Day, so I wish you guys who are Irish and celebrate a happy St. Patrick's Day. And we're going to kick off another video sometime tomorrow evening where we'll start taking those first steps. So have a good night, everybody, and thanks for tuning in. And remember, this is where nerdy is cool. Stay nerdy. Have a good night.